Okay, so I know this looks good. All right. I took down, let's start again. All right, for those who are interested locally, I took down an idea for what it is that mostly is a privilege, and that is specialty tools. So in sculpture, I thought about what it is that we're talking about, and usually when, since we're talking about what it is that happens while we're sculpting, and that the nature of the world is somewhat graphic. So it's only natural that we talk about geography. And sometimes where things come from and where people come from, and not in that order actually, is I can see I got overly excited, but it is a specialty tool that ultimately, I'm not talking about sculpting so much as I'm talking about what to do with a piece of marble. Sculpting is when you're actually doing the work. And sometimes you're the living and breathing thing. Like right now, I could feel I'm sculpting through reality. The thing is, we're talking about geography because the word geographic, what does it mean? It's like where you are is what it sounds like. I think that for what it's worth, this video, I might upload it, I might not upload it because it's very specific. So that reminds me of Tamara in the video from Northwestern Sculptor Society. And I think that I haven't had the privilege of meeting her yet. So hi or hello, I don't know if you say hi or hello. That's something that I did notice in the video for the benefit of what it is that stone sculptors or marble sculptors are generous with themselves and where things come from. As far as art practitioners though, I don't think that immediately makes us long-winded. So I think what the meaning is when we're saying that, well, I can explain to you how come that thing doesn't sound static, it sounds as though it's in motion. That means that we have the details from within and that we identify based on our discretion. So I don't know about anything other than it's a good idea to talk about geography, because what it is independently, it's like when Americans began sculpting and they were noting that the Greeks were great at sculpting, and the Greeks were noting that the Americans are pretty good at it, and maybe so are the French. It's how the conversation develops when we're pinging and noting that this person is from a geography that's when we want to relay the message back to. It's our conscientious ability to function in however many dimensions that we do. I think that we are required as people to function in 3 dimensions at all times to be under God. And since that's almost a given, since we do have some 2-dimensional objects only, that means that they're not quite special to us yet, and that's all right. That, you know, not everything has to pass through the same individual. I think that's why it's interesting to talk about geography, because we sometimes are fortunate enough to share with people in different places the same graphic event that is passing. And so the image that we put into the sculpture, if that could hold true and be the same image regardless of the shape, that I think that relaxes a lot of what the community brings up, sort of with the stiff upper lip or the or the not quite ability to talk about if it's the design or the construct of something and say, well, I can't offer that to you because information has to be given, and it has to be given willingly. It can't be given at an angle. There are very many important reasons for, in the three-dimensionality, for information to be protected as something that we all in the creator class determine to surround and protect and secure and make sure that it's worth our time. That in a nutshell, I'm going to recommend that we talk about not particularly where we're from, although I think sometimes it might be particularly. I like talking about where we're from because it paints a picture. I think that we don't have to talk about what's going on where we're from. So I'll make the example of, I have a second cousin that was born in France, but he no longer lives there. He lives in Los Angeles. And so because he was born there, he can paint a picture of, he's going surfing in Nice, and you know, next to him there are people who are crowding to net oysters and make salt, and what they do in Nice there, and it's very close to Denim, and that it paints a picture of like a day that's kind of gray and long and quiet, and like, you know, so quiet because the seawater is basically falling on their ears. And where he is now in Los Angeles, he's taken that picture with him and sort of made it a home, is making it a home for himself in Los Angeles, where he goes to the beach and surfs. I mean, next door it's Santa Monica and El Segundo, so it's a little bit different. It's a restaurant that cooks these things. They don't have I don't think they have any fishing going on there, or they don't have any oyster making, and they don't make salt there either. So the picture is different, but because it developed as a painting almost from where he is from, that the image that I get is that much more pleasant. And I think that's what we were talking about a few years ago, about, well, I don't have to know where this person's from to get what we're talking about, or what we're making, what we're crafting. In some instances, though, I think that sometimes it's nicer than to say, well, I mean, I don't really know what the details are of what goes on in Nice. And I know for a fact that his parents run an operation, and the day-to-day is quite different than the picture I get from what he is an embodiment of. So those are just the ways I see what it is that we could unpack in this channel, because of the fact that 5 minutes is a good enough marker of saying, well, this was important to me. And as far as privileges go, it's really nice that we can say, I'm impassioned by this, or I think that this is worth continuing to develop the community with. And so I'm with YouTube putting out these videos thinking that we're going to have all sorts of questions come, and that we're going to keep enjoying what it is that we've crafted. And I just have to say that keep on going, keep doing what you've been doing. It's been a privilege getting to know you and keeping you around. And that's one of those first and second orders of interest, that's just like to keep people around. That's what's important. So, you know, be upright and be forthcoming. I love you guys, and I'll see what comes up next.